What's going on? 6 o'clock. Happy Friday and good morning from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I am Robert Walsh. Only one higher seed team last night was victorious. Let's check the scores. Clemson taking down the Arizona Wildcats 77-72. UConn over San Diego State University 82-52. Alabama beats UNC 89-87 after UNC had a slow second half. Illinois sending Iowa State home 72-69. Game start today with NC State, the lowest seeded team left in the tournament, and Marquette at 6:10. You can listen to that right here on 104.5 The Zone. Opening day yesterday. You wouldn't know it. Shohei Ohtani having a good day to start off for the Dodgers. They take down the Cardinals 7-1, and the Orioles still got the firepower, blowing the Angels' doors off 11-3. Plenty of good games yesterday, but Braves fans are looking at the scoreboard for today. They take on the Phillies at 2:05. Looking at you, Will Bowling. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your own for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Friday morning, and it starts right now on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon, Kayla, and Will is off and running for the final day in another week of March Madness. 615-737-1045. The number. RKW, as always, is brewed by 8th and Roast, who cultivates community by the cup. You can find your favorite retail bag of 8th and Roast coffee in every local Kroger and Whole Foods as well. It's a Tennessee basketball game day. We've got all the info and analysis you need on Tennessee and Creighton. We'll have Brent Hubbs of VolQuest in on 3 joining us at 7:20 this morning. Final keys for Tennessee against the Blue Jays, and then our friend Mike Golic Jr. of the GoJo podcast at 9:20 this morning. It is a Friday, and on a Tennessee game day, you know that we are acting like it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Robert Walsh.
What's going on, man?
Good morning.
Man, I stayed up way too late watching basketball last night. Oh, Ramon Foster's here. What's up?
Hey, good morning, good people. It's Friday and I'm acting like it. It's what's happening
sure
right
are.
now, man.
Ain't
What's
nothing
going
wrong
on?
with that.
I love birds. Yeah, way better than mine this
Mine sounds like
Yeah.
a cow. Yeah.
What's going? How many games you stay up for, Will?
All of them.
Did you?
All 4 of them.
You brave soul.
Ordered a pizza and had a night. And by had a night, I mean did a lot of work and had basketball on in the background.
That's what I was gonna say. You actually have a couple games to call this weekend too.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got Tennessee, Georgia tonight on SEC Network Plus, and Nashville SC Columbus Crew tomorrow night on the Zone.
You trying to catch Ron Slayers, one of the hardest working people in showbiz, huh?
Please, that ain't possible.
I mean, geez, 2 games, Easter weekend also. I mean, what are we talking about here?
That's what we're going to try to do.
I'll be honest with you, not every game last night. I pushed it as far as I probably as fur.
As
What is
fur.
as fur?
You got the boots with the fur?
Man, I'm talking about yes.
Who was the whole club looking at?
Her?
Her? Okay,
yes, absolutely, man. I got as far as I could last night in watching games. All I could say was Arizona bums. I can't believe y'all, man. Did all that big talking and was in consideration for a number 1 seed and then, just tank.
Freaking bum.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, Bert. I mean, it's easier said than mine is. But I looked at the Arizona Clemson game last night and I was somewhat shocked by Clemson. I had somebody say to me one time, it's like, that wasn't you guys' game to win. That's how I felt about Arizona last night. Like, it wasn't their game to win. As close as they got, they tied it up, I think, at one point. It wasn't their game to win last night.
In a touching tribute to the Pac-12, Arizona went down without a fight, just like the Pac-12 did, as they are now no longer officially a member of the Pac-12 in college basketball.
You know what I was saying last night? I was calling them I should never trust a team like Arizona and a bankrupt Pac-12. That's what I want to call them.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Clemson wins that one 77-72. Got out to a 13-point lead against Arizona, forcing them into 8 first-half turnovers, 37% shooting from the field, and just 18% from three. There are a lot of teams last night that booked their first tickets to the Elite Eight in a long time. And Clemson's last trip to the Elite Eight was 1980.
80?
It's crazy. We expanded the playoff, and then we're just going to get Clemson, Alabama again. Unbelievable. Honestly, unbelievable.
Hey, you know what? Some things never change in the sports world, right?
Couple of football schools going at it in the Elite Eight.
Look at them. I've never heard of Clemson being any type of basketball school. Congrats to them.
You're right.
Yeah, congrats to them. I mean, they beat the odds. They are the darlings. We were looking for a small school to be the darlings. No, they are it right now. I don't even know what to say about Clemson. I don't. It's like, man, they got a rich. No, they do not have a rich tradition. They just played really good ball last night against the team. Arizona looked, I hate to even say this about athletes sometimes. They looked soft. They looked out of place. They couldn't find their rhythm whatsoever when it came down to it. And their bigs in the paint absolutely bodied Arizona. The big cat from Arizona, man, he was trash last night, man.
Yeah, well,
crazy.
And Caleb Love was even worse. Their point guard who transferred from UNC. It's actually ironic how bad RJ Davis and Caleb Love were in the same night. The two former teammates at North Carolina who have played the Final Four and who have played a lot of good basketball in Carolina blue. They played in two different colors last night, and they both looked like they're headed to Eastern Europe to continue their careers because it was not pretty.
No, it was not.
They'll both probably be high draft picks, but
Yeah.
that is the issue with R.J. Davis and more so Caleb Love is that they are both very streaky. When they're on, they're really on, but when they're not, Caleb Love is the epitome of his freshman and sophomore year was a no, yes player.
Yeah.
Because he'll take shots that you're like, why would you take that? And then he makes it, and you're like, well, I'll be upset about it next go-round.
He was 5 of 18 from the floor, 0 for 9 from 3. Caleb Love last night for Arizona.
And it looked like it, though.
It was rough.
It was rough, and that's what it was. It was rough, man. I don't think they was prepared for what Clemson was bringing to them. When Clemson jumped out, I think 5-0 on them, and they couldn't make a shot, couldn't get up and down the court. It was just they controlled it. Again, as close as Arizona got, they were that far away the entire game. They absolutely had nothing for them. And then to end the game the way they did with dunks and ones and everything else like that last night, shout out to Clemson. Their crowd was insanely ecstatic yesterday or last night.
It's cool for – oh, sorry, Will.
Go ahead.
It's cool for Brad Brownwell, too, the Clemson coach. He's been there since 2010. Never made it past a round of 64. So good for him. Nice little streak.
Solid. UConn 82, San Diego State 52. Imagine being the idiot that thought that 11.5 points was too much for UConn yesterday. It's me. I'm that idiot. UConn has won their games in the NCAA tournament by an average of 28.7 points.
Golly. They're good. And what was cool to watch that game last night was they were efficient. You ever just seen an operation work really, really good? That's the way their team looked from inside to outside. They absolutely played a smooth style of ball, man. Hitting the shots, second chance rebounds was insane last night for a team that won by 20. And San Diego State, they held it together as much as they could within by the first media break, it felt like. And that game just took a turn for the Huskies, man, in a way that shows why UConn was the number 1 seed. They are a very solid team. And my thing about them is they play big boy ball on top of just the way they run their operation too. Like they have a system in place, and that system is working for them. I appreciated watching good basketball after watching. I don't know why I was so stuck on the Clemson, Arizona. I think it's because I didn't have Clemson making it that far, and I absolutely believed in what Arizona was capable of. lies. I should never judge them. You know what also was said last night in my household? It was like, this is how the Vols look sometimes. This was where, that's
true.
what worries me about them at times.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Grant Nelson, the star for Alabama in their 2-point win over North Carolina, 24 points, 12 rebounds, and 5 blocks for the transfer from North Dakota State. Became the first player with at least 20 points, 10 rebounds, and 4 blocks in a Sweet 16 game or later since UCLA's Kevin Love did it in 2008. He is the first SEC player with 20-plus points, 10 boards, and 4-plus blocks since Florida's Joakim Noah did it in 2006 en route to a national championship.
What's cool about Nelson is this. Grant Nelson, he's a heck of a ball player. His mustache game sucks.
Yeah, he's just as bad as Buck Rising at growing a mustache.
I hate it watching.
Yeah, he's made it in this world.
I know he's made it in this world. It's like, bro, like rip that thing off your face, okay? All in all, Alabama swarmed them. They played a better style of him. And Baycott, to me, we don't have to keep asking the questions of how long he's going to be at North Carolina. That was my biggest take last night in that game. I almost made it to the end of this one, Will. I did not make it to the end of this one.
Call that dude Van Wilder. He had been in college for 5 ever.
For 5 ever? Yes.
Way too long.
Way too long. But that's the same thing can be said about Josiah, right?
It's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Armando Baycott has been at North Carolina since the Kennedy administration. It's been a long time.
Since NAM.
He was actually hooping with the Apostle Paul back in grade school.
What did he say? He's actually took the first shot in Desert Storm.
That's right. That's right. The late game last night, Illinois 72 and Iowa State 69. A great night of hoops. Even greater if you're a Bama fan. But it was fun.
Yeah.
As we head into a Tennessee game day, we head into a day where we've got lots more pro days to react to. Our question of the morning, with baseball starting yesterday, this is a question that you can get around any kind of room or any kind of beverages and get the fellas going for about an hour. We'll ask that question coming up next. 615-737.
It's Ramon Foster for United Structural Systems. And when it comes to large home repairs, a lot of time we homeowners pretend we do not see the warning signs. We're afraid of what we're going to hear. This is especially true with waterproofing and foundation repair. It could be something big that needs to be fixed right away, or it may be a small problem now that'll become bigger later, or it could be nothing at all. The bottom line is we don't know. We certainly don't want to be sold something we don't need. What we need is a peace of mind, especially when it comes to waterproofing and foundation issues. If you've seen those cracks in your house or you got your basement walls bowing because of water saturation in the ground, you got to get this fixed. And that's why USS has been keeping homes dry and stable here for over 25 years. Homeowners trust USS, all right? They're serving Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky, and Western Kentucky. If you have foundational waterproofing issues, reach out to them at USSTN.com or you can call them 615-488-7855.
Friday morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will is brewed by 8th and Roast, RKW on 104.5 The Zone with Ramon Foster and Robert Walsh. I'm Will Bowling. Kayla Anderson with the morning off. She will be back with us on Tuesday, 615-737-1045. Hey, you jump in. So our question of the morning is one that I don't know if it's just my group of friends or just the male brain in general. But when you ask this question, you can fill up about an hour of conversation at the bar, in the car, or anywhere in between. Mm-hmm. If you were a baseball player, what would your walk-up song be? 615-737-1045 if you've got a good one. We already have lots of great submissions on Twitter where you can tweet us at Ramon Kayla Will as well. Frostbite says, Dr. Dre, still Dre.
I almost took that one. That was solid.
What the people don't know is that since we asked this question in the break, Ramon has picked most of the songs that have been created. Soon we're going to run out of music for Ramon to even have choices.
Y'all know I'm a huge music fan, so me deciding
You're also
on
a huge indecisiveness fan.
I am. When it comes to music and picking the right song, I was just like, golly, do I go my college era or do I go now? And I went this era, so I chose this song.
Fair
but
enough.
I also had 4 songs before actually getting to the final song that I picked right now.
Yeah, I don't know why you picked Respect by Aretha Franklin.
Hey,
I
no.
just don't think that really fits what you're trying to do here.
I know you love The Little Mermaid, but part of your world was a weird choice.
Yeah, it just doesn't make much sense to
That's
me.
what we're
Ramon.
going to do. This is what we're doing this morning. I love it. Keep it up, all right? There's a tow truck outside to get you guys.
Is there? Didn't you almost need that this morning
I did
to
almost.
get here?
I'm going to need it whenever I get home. I had a flat this morning, man. That's why I was a couple ticks behind the clock this morning.
Oh, I thought that was code word for you had like bubble guts or something. Anytime if I ever tell y'all, I'm going to be late, I have a flat tire, I'm in a gas station restroom somewhere.
And no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
There will be one sitting down on a toilet.
That's fair. That is something you got to be careful of. Which convenience store you stop at in those moments?
The first one.
The first one?
Yeah, I ain't waiting.
Honestly.
I ain't got nothing to trust. There's 2 things I don't trust, Cheyenne and a fart.
Clip that. Wow. What is wrong with you?
It's Friday.
Friday and Robert Walsh is, fortunately for us, acting like it. 615-737-1045. Scott writes in, Superhero by Metro Boomin.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was Matt
is-
Olson's last year, Braves first baseman.
Was it really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man, what a guy.
You got to be hitting some dingers if you're walking up to that.
You better, especially as the way that leads in right there, too. Opening day, anything crazy yet? Oh, yeah, we'll get all of that. We'll get to all of that.
Well, Mother Nature making it not opening day for a lot of fan bases was the crazy thing that happened.
On the East Coast, sure in the heck did.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
Unfortunately.
It's all good.
Kenny the mailman leads us off on the phone line, 615-737-1045. Good morning, Kenny.
Morning, Kenny.
Good morning, dear friends. Has our buddy Eric called in yet?
He is not.
All right, well, good. You'll have to ask him about this. This is a true Easter story about my good friend. I've known him 40 years. We met at a local church here in Nashville as teenagers, and it was known for having its Easter pageant. Hundreds of actors, live animals, thousands of people would come through for performances. People all over the city scheduled Easter to see this drama. And our buddy Eric wanted to be in it, so I had to go sit on the front row to see him. He had on his robe just right and his hat, but before he walked on stage, I was pointing like crazy to his arm, to his wrist. And instead of him thinking I was trying to help him, he blew me off. He just totally ignored me. I said, well, go right ahead. And he did. He walked right out on that darkened stage with his $29 red digital Casio watch flashing 12, 12, 12. The only time in history people were more focused on somebody's watch than Jesus and the disciples. Y'all have a great day.
Well
Have a
done.
good Easter.
Thank you, Kenny.
What a go, Kenny. I didn't know where he was going to finish up at, Will.
Thank you, Kenny. More focused on their watch than Easter. Goodness sakes.
His good friend, Eric, man, I could probably sit around and just watch them have a good old hold down at any point in time, man. I could. By the way, the reason I got here early, too, Well, earlier.
You did not get what are you talking about? You were 3 minutes late this morning.
I listened to the Beyonce country album coming in, man. It was actually pretty good for what I think people that don't do country would do country sound like. It was actually pretty solid.
Fair enough.
Scott
up first on Walk Up Songs this morning. What's up, Scott?
What's up, Scott?
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all saying superhero on Twitter, man. I want to explain why I'm the announcer for TSU softball.
Nice.
And the first time I heard the song was last year when one of the players did it. And I mean, just saying that with using your voice too, man, it was just so easy. I mean, and it sounded good. And she wasn't a dinger, man, but it just sounded like she was when she walked up to the plate. I think that's one of the best walk-up songs. I'm 55 years old that I've heard, over the years, man. I think that's the perfect one for somebody that is a power hitter.
Ooh, okay then.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Thank you, Scott. Good stuff.
Scott 55, he definitely walking up. He definitely ain't running.
All right.
Hey, no. Scott said it's good for the intro for the announcer, too. But now I need to hear that, Will. We're going to have to do that at some point.
Yeah,
we got
can
an
do
announcer's voice.
Coming back from break.
We can do that one. I didn't realize it was so clutch like that.
So what is yours?
Mine, my final one.
Yeah, your final answer.
Let's Go by Key Glock.
Okay.
Absolutely love that song.
I would go right above it by Drake and Lil Wayne.
Y'all ain't give no explanation. I pulled all these songs up, got them timed and ready for Will to. And then, see, that's what I do back here. I try to lead y'all. I'm hurting y'all. So I'm like, tell me your songs. And then Ramon don't give no explanation. He's just like, Key Glock, let's go. All right, well, let's go then. Move on.
No.
And then Will says right above it, I was doing this so Will could give everybody an old-timey walk-up dress announcer.
I can still.
All right, well, that's cool. Do it for yourself real quick. Ramon's not going to get one. He didn't play
Didn't
nice.
let him breathe. Now batting, the first baseman, number 10, Will Bowling.
Boo! Our guy sucks!
Pretty good song.
What an expensive bat!
Just picture me walking up to that song, just laying down a bunt. Down the third base line. I'm going to bunt for a hit.
He not going to need that sliding mitt.
Easy out. Easy out.
Come on, bring it in. Move up. See, that's why I couldn't have a cool song. They would see my goofy ass waddling up to bat, and they'd be like, "What is this going to do?" That's why I'd pick Nothing from Nothing, because you got to have something if you want to play with me. You just see me waddling up like a penguin up to the daggum home plate, playing any position where someone's not available.
Playing catcher.
Then I'd do one of those swings where you swing and I spin around like 3 times and fall down. Whoop, 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 whoop.
And spin a big chaw out real quick.
Unfortunately, he has struck out in 2 pitches.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my.
Now batting the catcher, Robert Walsh.
Robert Walsh. All his teammates talking behind his back. He hadn't done anything the last 5 weeks.
You know he ain't hit a ball all year, right?
Why does his mom buy him sliding gloves?
Why is his mom sneaking off with the coach? That's how he made the team,
As he takes the 0-1.
And Castellanos hits a home run.
There's a deep drive to left by Castellanos. I pride and consider myself a man of faith as here's the catcher, Ramon Foster.
Where's mine? All right, do I get my...
What are you talking about? Now Ramon wants one.
So yesterday at Pro Day in Washington, Michael Penix Jr. ran a 4.
Sip my water into this doggone microphone now. Watch me. Look.
Please stop making that noise. Good Lord.
I hate y'all, okay? Absolutely.
Anyway.
Each and every last one of you. I hope y'all strike out next time.
I'm telling you, that is the question of the morning, and nothing gets the fellas talking like asking what your walk-up song would be. So I meant to do this yesterday on opening day, but it was an opening day for me as an Atlanta Braves fan. So this was about me.
We had a submission for you, Bert, on Twitter from Twitter.
Yes, we did.
Oh, God, what did we
so
get?
I retweeted this at Ramon Kayla Will. The submission from Preston says, I can definitely see Bert doing Sexy Red, Get It Sexy. as your song. Swing that bat for me. Swing that bat for Drake.
It would probably be pretty good, man, because I mean, my reddish hair, I could be sexy red.
You could. You are our sexy red.
You wait till
okay?
Halloween next year. I'm going to be sexy red trick-or-treating at the Foster household so quick.
I can't wait. And I will have actual candy this time.
You're going to have king bars for me.
I will. I got to make it up to the neighborhood kids, man.
Peyton in Lebanon on the phone lines. What's up, Peyton?
What's up, Peyton?
All right, so the best walk-up song and extremely out of context is going to be Magic Stick by 50 Cent.
Yep.
Sure is.
Trust me on that one, guys.
No matter the stadium or level of ball, that one pops up every single time.
That is, I had a guy I knew in high school tried to do that, and it lasted one game before the school said, you are not walking up to that anymore.
Really?
Yes.
They shut them down?
Yes, they did.
Oh, come on,
We got that
teachers.
submission from Caleb on Twitter as well. It's a popular one.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's messed up, dog.
615-737-1045. Richard up next. What's up, Richard?
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
We're good. Good morning, Richard.
Hey, good. I'm going to go a little bit old school, but I'm going to go DMX Ride or Die.
Yep.
Ooh, okay.
Yep. 100. DMX will get you going anytime. Stop. You get that one, too. Stop, drop. That one also. That was a bad barking noise right there.
Why are you just like a little chihuahua?
Shout out to
You
Richard.
are way too
bringing-
big to be barking like that.
You've got to get down. He does the, ow, ow. You can't do the, ow, ow, ow.
He does a little bit of it.
All right,
don't
one
do it.
more.
Man,
One
shout
more.
out to Richard for the DMX drop right there, man. What a legend.
Corey in Hendersonville on our last one on the phones. What's up,
What's
Corey?
up, Core?
What's up? Hey, Robert, do I get the music or no?
Hell no. What do you think this is? This ain't a daggone DJ.
You didn't tip him, Corey.
You got to
Corey,
tell me.
Where your money at, Corey? He got a cash out.
I got a 20.
Okay. And we got breakfast,
All right.
Bert.
So I'm walking up to The Stroke by Billy Idol, and when I get to the plate, I'm probably going to have a stroke.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Because he won't make it to first base, Corey. What we got going on?
Appreciate it, guys.
All right, thanks,
The
Corey.
stroke. I've never heard the stroke.
I haven't either.
You've never, Billy. Yeah. All right, we're bumming back with
So
it.
now we are going to hear that.
Great song. It is a great
It's
This
song.
is
great
what Corey
song.
wanted.
Well, this is after he done walked out, though. He ain't walking up to it.
did
I'll tell you
Corey-
that right now.
Did he cash up you that dub?
No, man,
didn't
that's
cash
what
up
I
you.
don't like, man. You can't come in here. You don't go into a club or a bar and be like, hey, Mr. DJ,
Maybe you don't.
I'm Mike in Cleveland. Can you play my new music? You don't do that.
We're going to hear Mike in Cleveland so fast. I'm surprised Mike didn't already call us and say, like, hey, man, I'm gonna play my song. It's this new song. It's actually by me, and I'm going to walk up to it myself.
He would. He would just slip you the CD.
That's
Man,
right.
even my partner said that my bark was terrible. That was a great bark I thought I had, Will.
was awful.
It was awful?
It was awful.
I'm going to be better next time, man.
615-737-1045 is our number. Yesterday, we will jump into the headlines in the world of football where Michael Penix Jr., Ramon Foster, put on a show. Do you care that Michael Penix can run a sub 4.6 40?
I do care. I do. I think it shows his health. I think it shows that, look, he is a better athlete, and I think what he showed on tape and everything, I thought it was pretty magnificent what he did yesterday. As far as his times and numbers, and it also shows, again, like I said, the knees is something you always got to worry about with a guy like him. And, of course, if that shoulder is right, then he may actually jump into that conversation. I don't know if they're going to put Michael Penix Jr. in the first round, but him showing his athletic ability like that, to me, I thought moved the needle a little bit more than I thought it would have had he ran a 4.7, a 4.8, or something like that.
36.5-inch vertical jump and a broad jump of 10 feet 5 inches. Both of those were better than any other quarterback at the combine. According to ESPN's Field Yates, a handful of scouts clocked Michael Penix's lone run at 4.56 to 4.59. Penix told reporters after he ran that he thinks he's a 4.4 guy.
That's what I saw that come across the X-verse yesterday, too, Twitterverse yesterday also. If he'd have ran a 4.4, cool. My thing with Michael Penix Jr., how many times we going to need you to run the ball anyway? The sub 4.6 to me does a world of good to him for a guy that's gone through what he's gone through and had the question marks that he did. One thing you will never question about Michael Penix Jr. is the arm talent. the legs is a bonus to me. So him running that type of speed and showing his athletic ability and agility says a lot about him to me.
Does Michael Penix have that dog in him, though? Is it this dog, or is it actually like a dog that sounds intimidating, unlike the pathetic excuse for a bark that you gave the people this
That
morning?
was a great bark for such an improv moment right there. That was good.
I ain't using that one. I've got one pulled now and clipped. This is the bark that's going to be associated with Ramon Foster. Anytime someone references someone having dog in them, you're going to hear this noise.
Kayla does do that a lot, so we're going to be hearing the dog noise quite a bit, I think.
I have a very commendable bark, man.
67 touchdowns for Michael Penix over the last 2 seasons, is 4th most in the country. What's the best fit for him?
Indoor first. I'm just go whoever that team may be. Of course, with Minnesota's coach flirting with the idea. I think it was early this week or last week. For a team that needs a guy that can air the ball out for Justin Jefferson, he can be that type of fit, man. He's stable. He's mature as ever. I just much rather see him in an indoor situation more than playing in the elements. I don't know how he'd absolutely do in the NFL with that type of presentation on top of the injuries too. If you can keep him in a controlled climate as much as you possibly can, the better it is for him, I think.
Do you have one, Will?
Have what?
One where you think he would fit in best.
It's interesting because I feel like he could go somewhere that has a more established starter and be the perhaps Jordan Love of this year's draft. That, I think, is his best case scenario. Like if you went somewhere like Cleveland, where you could be behind Deshaun Watson and have a chance to become the guy there if Deshaun Watson tanks, and you have athletically, Deshaun Watson at this point in his career, I don't think is a 4.5 40 guy. But you have athletically 2 mobile, athletic running quarterbacks that can help one another in that context. I would say Shane of the F&M Bank chat's 100% right. Miami is the other one that I do think would make a lot of sense for Michael Penix.
See, I'm thinking the other side of the country. I think you keep him on the West Coast and put him at Seattle at 16.
Interesting.
Sit behind Geno Smith. Geno has an outdated contract after this year. You get a young quarterback for a young coach.
The same thing goes for Miami also, too, right? With the 5th-year option with Tua.
Sure.
And can you imagine him with a Mike McDaniel-style offense? Or to your point, though, Bert, I mean, they're going to need offense in Seattle, too, with a defensive-minded head coach.
Is it fair to say that with most quarterbacks, if they're not a first-round pick, then they're not going quickly in the second either? Like, I know the Titans were kind of the exception to that last season in selecting Will Levis, but I'm of the opinion that Michael Penix Jr. is not going in the first round.
I'm 50-50 right now.
I think we're talking ourselves into a quarterback being him because we're bored and we have nothing else to talk about as an NFL media.
Who's a better projected first rounder than Bo Nix or Michael Penix Jr.?
I think Bo Nix is.
You think Bo Nix is for
Health
is his biggest issue.
Penix has had a lot of issues. And Nicholas writes on YouTube, Seattle does have his offensive coordinator from Washington.
Makes sense.
And Ryan Grubb.
Yeah. If Seattle's need a quarterback in the second round, absolutely Michael Penix Jr. Second round pick also, people, ain't a bad round. You know what I've done to have been a second round pick? Heck, a third round pick. The first 3 rounds are very significant and important to teams too. There's a lot of gems and talent that come out of those first 3 rounds. I don't want to make it seem like if you're not a first rounder, you're a bust. You know what I'm saying?
And the reason the Titans didn't come and get or had to take Will Levis in the second is because no one was willing to trade.
Right.
So I guess it just depends circumstantially if you're able to come into the first round and trade back in, or if nobody's willing to deal.
It's interesting. Seattle has no second round pick, but the Seahawks are at 16, and then they go back to 81 in the third. So if the Seahawks really do value Michael Penix as a QB of the future for them, do you really think he's available at 81? I doubt it.
No, I doubt it too. I think based off what you think he can do for you in a reserve role, if you're picking after the first round,
yep,
you taking him easily, especially for that price.
Because especially if you do have one of those teams in the top 4 between New England and Arizona, who decides to trade out or give themselves a second option, Arizona, Michael Penix. Does that make sense?
they stuck with Kyler for like 2 more years, right?
Right, but
you
could look at a second option if he's still there in the second or third.
That's what you do. Absolutely.
615-737-1045, our number. The Chiefs made an underrated addition the other day, and there's a lot of talk about the way the kickoff now within the NFL might even function a bit differently than anything we've discussed on this show so far. We'll talk about that next. What's going on? It's Will Bowling. Springtime is officially here in Middle Tennessee. Yep, I'm going to knock on wood to make sure that the warm weather sticks around here in the area. But as the weather does begin to turn, Lee Company has your back to make sure your home's air conditioning is working efficiently. One of their expert technicians will perform a 22-point inspection as well as seasonal cleaning and maintenance to help you stay ahead of the changing weather. And thanks to their visual findings platform, Lee Company's professional team virtually shows you exactly what they see in addition to updates and information on your unit's efficiency. This is one thing you want to get ahead of here in Middle Tennessee, right? We can go from the 30s to the 90s in weather pretty quickly. So you got to cross this one off your spring to-do list. Call Lee Company at 615-567-1000 or go to leecompany.com/promotions to get $20 off on your air conditioning tune-up today. That's 615-567-1000, online at leecompany.com. That's Lee Company, all you need.
Hey, it's Kayla Anderson with Members Nutrition. Maybe you heard me talk about the Youthful Cleanse here lately. A great cleanse, simple cleanse by Daily Defense, but they bring so much more when it comes to supplements, bringing them to you at an affordable cost, quality supplements at a fraction of the normal retail cost, and made right here in the USA. No matter what type of supplement you're looking for, they have it. Let's maybe say immunity supplements, because this is the time of year that we're all feeling a little bit down, and they've got plenty to choose from, including weight loss, detox, like I mentioned, with the cleanse, men's health, women's health, even relaxation supplements. They have it all. And now they are giving you, the listener, a little bit extra off the already discounted prices, offering 50% off your purchase on the already discounted prices. No code needed. The discount is automatically applied at checkout. And the website, you can go to it now to check out all the different types of supplements, all different categories. Just go to membersnutrition.com. That's membersnutrition.com.
RKW, Ramon, Kayla, and Will is brewed by 8th and Roast on 104.5 The Zone. Coming up, a recap of Sweet 16 action last night. Reports of the Southeastern Conference's demise were greatly exaggerated. 615-737-1045 is our number. Streaming live on 104.5 The Zone TV. So the Kansas City Chiefs have agreed to terms with European rugby star Louis Rees-Zammit. They will take a look at him at running back and perhaps wide receiver. And maybe his biggest impact will be as a return specialist in the NFL's new kickoff format. Ramon Foster, do you believe that a rugby player has a chance to make a 53-man roster this season in the NFL? Not just to Kansas City, but anywhere else?
I think so. I always. They call us soft in American football because you guys use protection. It's like, okay, all right. It will be interesting to see how he adjusts to the game, catching the ball and just having guys come at him the way they do in football with pads on, who trying to really tear his face off. So I'll be interested in seeing how that goes for him. But I saw his tape. I was watching a little bit of it yesterday as far as how he plays. Yeah, he's got speed. He's got size and power. I can see him making a squad like Kansas City. They always find a way to just sprinkle magic dust on players, it seems like, and get the most out of them. They did it with Juju. Tariq Hill seems like was the guy. I mean, Trey, they're making it work with him and all the stuff that he has going on also. They just seem to be a franchise that figure it out. But, yes, I can see that happening.
Is Jordan Mailata the best rugby player to ever play in the NFL?
To my knowledge, yeah, he has to be. Yeah, he has to be. Second contract, actually playing. Yeah, definitely.
At a high level, too.
No.
He's not that great.
No, he's not the greatest to play it.
No. Okay, who you got?
In football, now that I'm thinking about it, Haloti Ngata.
Oh, I forgot he was a
I
rugby
didn't know he was
guy.
a rugby player.
Yes.
Yay.
Look, if y'all had not YouTubed his film?
No.
I got to go check out some Hello Not rugby highlights.
This man was a man-child at rugby. I remember seeing it on one of those specials. Might have been one of those Ravens Steelers weekends or something.
There it is. I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
This man was a monster.
Goodness.
Yeah. Hello, not. I'm surprised you didn't know that one, Bert.
I know, man. I'm kind of upset about my fandom. My first thought when the Chiefs signed this guy, Zamet Man.
Zamet, man.
They got. I was saying, like, dang
Boom!
it.
He was saying, "Zam it."
No, it's my opportunity. Boom!
Cut that man's microphone off.
Oh, man. It is interesting, though. This season is the first time each team will have a 17th roster spot on the practice squad specifically for an international player. So that's why moves like this make more sense in coordination with the kickoff changing. It's interesting. We were talking yesterday about this. I think coaches have more of a plan for the kickoff change than we think because 2 returners have to be in the landing zone for where the ball is kicked. Having a guy that can lateral the ball with his left hand or his right hand on either side of that return group, totally across the field, Music City Miracle style, is not the worst idea.
It's not.
And having a guy that's played rugby and French Danny Woodhead, who just got added by the Kansas City Chiefs, is honestly an interesting wrinkle. And they want us to talk about it, and they want to plant that seed in people's minds now. But we know with the international roster spot on practice squads, I think there's a chance that guy makes the team.
One thing about it, too, is special team coaches are very smart. They can't wait to strategize against somebody, too. If you've been around special teams coaches, they are those types of guys that salivate at these moments. I think you're 100% correct on them. They've been waiting on these moments right here, Will, to kind of scheme it up. And it also, like I said, we heard we heard Rhett talk about it, and I think Coach Mack did the other day too. The kickoff has become such a dead airspace for people that watch it. I know, you can go to the concessions and get something to eat or drink, but it is somewhat boring when all they do is fair catch the entire time. Now you take that out of it.
Interesting. So I really do think this is a game-changing rule change. I know we've talked a lot about it. People around the NFL have talked a lot about it. People around the country are interested in this, but I am genuinely pumped. As excited as I've been about an NFL rule change, maybe ever, for that to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Do you think we see an uptick in kickoff returns? Because it didn't show that in the USFL.
Well, there'll be more returns, but there might not be more return touchdowns.
Touchdowns.
Yeah, right. There will be a lot more returns. But I think the thing we're going to get that's going to be fun is a lot more trick plays. There were a lot of trick plays in the XFL where you'd have one returner run behind the other and hand it off to them. You can fake the handoff. You could lateral it cross field. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I do too. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to see the first one.
615-737-1045. We'll take a look at Sweet 16 headlines coming up in hour number 2. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us at 7:20 in hour 2 as well. Much more still to come on RKW.
If you want an engagement ring that she will be proud to wear, there's only one place to go, and that's Genesis Diamonds. Genesis has cornered the market on all the world-class designers. These New York and Los Angeles-based designers are the best of the best. Every store wants them, but very few stores make the cut. Genesis made the cut and has all the luxury brands, all the ones women are asking for. So don't settle. Get her the ring of her dreams at Genesis Diamonds, and don't think you'll pay more either. Genesis has complete ready-to-wear designer rings as low as $1,900. And, of course, no jeweler can beat the price of Genesis Diamonds. Whether you want a natural diamond or a lab-grown diamond, Genesis has the guaranteed best price and highest quality. And only Genesis gives you a 120% diamond upgrade guarantee plus free service for life. All this with no commission salespeople, so you don't have to ever feel pressured when you walk in there. Nobody delivers for you like Genesis when it comes to quality, value, selection, warranties, or just simple customer care. Get the deal you deserve on your diamond at Genesis Diamonds. And now with an expanded selection of luxury pre-owned Rolex watches, all the hard-to-find models. Check them out, Genesis Diamonds. They're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
7:01. Good morning and happy Friday from the 104.5 The Zone Studios. I am Robert Walsh. Only one higher-seeded team was victorious last night. Let's check the scores as Clemson took down Arizona 77-72. UConn over San Diego State 82-52. Alabama beats UNC 89-87, and Illinois sending Iowa State home 72-69. Game start today with NC State, who is the lowest seeded team left in the tournament. They're taking on Marquette at 6:10, and you can listen to that right here on 104.5 The Zone. Opening day yesterday, but it starts today for Braves fans as they take on the Phillies at 2:05. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, visit USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and the Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Friday morning on Ramon, Kayla, and Will is brewed by 8th and Roast. We are rolling right along into hour number 2. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest joins us in 20 minutes. Mike Golic Jr. at 9:20 this morning. Your phone calls throughout the day at 615-737-1045. Streaming live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch.
Twitch, please.
That's where you can see Ramon Foster asleep at the wheel. Kayla Anderson with the morning off. And Robert Walsh making the show happen. Ramon Foster in his Tennessee orange today.
It was fitting today, man. Needed to. Got to represent the guys, man. When they hot, they hot. I got my Vol orange on today, man. You know, the only UT still left in it.
You're not wrong.
By the way, you got a correction. The rugby situation question we had, too. You actually got some clarity.
Yeah, well, it was developing news. We were talking about the French Danny Woodhead, who is signed for the Kansas City Chiefs in Louis Rees-Zammit. He has signed a 3-year contract, actually, with Kansas City, which includes some guaranteed money and a signing bonus.
Good for him.
A little surprising, but it also backs up what we just said, that I think that guy might make the roster.
And
Kansas
another
City.
part of it is, if you good, they will find you. The film is everywhere, man. Just be there and be good enough. The guys that be outside buildings trying to get jobs and stuff, like, man, they know who you are.
Can't you just see Andy Reid, like, late at night, nothing to watch on Netflix, orders a pizza? Oh, what's this rugby Six Nations documentary? Hey, we should sign one of these guys. Get me the GM on the phone. Give me Brent Veach. Get him on the phone right now.
I can see that.
Honestly.
Again, they will find the players in every avenue possible. They have for years. At least with Andy Reid, they have.
615-737-1045. Alabama 89, North Carolina 87 last night in the NCAA tournament. The Crimson Tide taking out the top seed in the West. They are back in the Elite Eight for the first time since 2004. Ramon Foster, in this tournament, we have seen a feast or famine SEC. And a lot of these teams that are so boom or bust, like Alabama and Kentucky, have been one and the same all season. That they have the best offenses in college basketball, but they also have some of the worst defenses in major college basketball. And we said going into the tournament, Alabama and Kentucky could win the whole thing, or they could go out in the first round. Alabama looks like it could win the whole thing right now, and Kentucky went out in the first round.
They did. And that's the thing about, I think what was frustrating for Kentucky fans, too, is you knew they had the type of team if they could survive. They didn't survive. And Alabama has been a offensive surviving type of team. And you got to appreciate how they went and beat a number one North Carolina. Essentially, probably one of the better teams, one of the more experienced teams and talented in all of college basketball. So kudos to Nate Oates and his squad, man. They stayed down, and they play an aggressive style of offense for sure. They got their shots up. Their bigs handle it the way you needed them to, and the SEC represents for the Elite Eight, man. Again, a blue blood like Carolina. I think the more and more you see these types of teams get upset, lose. Kansas is another one. Even though their coach said he was thinking about next year, a month ago.
Yeah, Bill Self.
Bill Self said that. That's wild to think, man. But it opens up the floodgates for teams like Alabama. I guarantee you Clemson may have something. Watching NC State become a darling right now. This is what it allows when those types of blue bloods lose. North Carolina, Kentucky, and Kansas are all out. And Duke.